If you want a sweater that hugs like a blanket but looks straight off the boutique rack, this one is about to be your new favorite. Hey guys, I'm T, maker of 600 plus crochet patterns and tutorials. Welcome to the channel. For today's tutorial, we're making a timeless v-neck. This sweater is dense, ribbed, and deliciously cozy. The kind of piece that looks boutique level but totally beginner friendly. We're talking minimal shaping, clean lines, and a texture that looks advanced but without the effort. Now, if you're new here, welcome. I share cozy crochet wearable patterns twice a week, every week. Tell a friend, tap the bell, and subscribe so you never miss an upload. And if you enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up or 2 thumbs down if you don't. Either way, it helps keep these tutorials free. Any category for yarn will work. For this project, I use 450 grams. That's 1,015 yards along with a 6.5mm hook. Pattern link below, and don't forget to use code TCDDIY for a discount on orders over $9.99. Stick around to the end of the video for this week's pattern giveaway. We're using just a few stitches today. They're all on screen now, and pause if you want to take a closer look. If you have never used linked stitches before, don't stress, they're way easier than they look, and we got you covered. This tutorial is made for size small. You can adjust it for your size. We explain how to in the video, so without further ado, here's how to crochet your own classic v-neck sweater. This is where we build the structure and the drape. The whole sweater hangs from this panel. We're all going to grab our category 4 yarn, make a slip knot, then grab our 6.5mm hook. We're working vertically, flat, using linked half doubles for that dense ribbed look. So start with a chain that reaches from the top of our shoulder down to our hips for full length or waist for cropped. Mine's full length, so I'm working with a chain 60. That's just about 20 inches or 50 centimeters. Now we are starting right away with our linked half double crochets. Chain 2 to start a row. That's the turning chain. We're going to insert our hook into that second chain of the turning chain. That's the horizontal bar. Insert, pull up a loop. That's going to link the stitch and remove the gap. We're going to insert our hook into that next chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, and that is our first linked half double. Tight, tidy, and totally gap free. To do the next one, there's going to be 3 bars right here. Into that middle horizontal bar, we are going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through to get 2 loops on our hook. Into that next chain, pull through for 3, then yarn over, pull through 3 per usual. Then it'll be a repeat of that stitch. So into that middle horizontal bar, pull through, next chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. Now link stitches can tighten up pretty quickly, so keep your tension loose and relaxed here. If it feels a little fiddly or a little wonky, don't worry, after a few rows we'll definitely fall into the rhythm. And for the rest of this row, and for the rest of the shoulder actually, we're going to continue with 1 linked half double into every stitch. Now repeat this linked half double crochet row over and over until our panel reaches about 2 inches past the tip of our shoulder and reaches towards your mid collarbone. We all want to make sure we end right after an even number row. That's going to set everyone up perfectly for that v-neck shaping. And just so that we can keep double checking as we go, just take note of the amount of stitches that we made for this first section and how many rows that we make, because we are going to need to do a second shoulder at the end of our front panel. Then working our way down for that last row, we're going to place a stitch marker into any stitch that reaches the base of our neck. Now this is where your sweater starts to take shape. These decreases create that clean, classic v-neck that makes the whole piece look polished and finished. Now since the stitch marker starts the shaping, I place mine into the 6th stitch from the top, and the top is the opposite from where our hook is, so right now our hook should be along the bottom. Then we're going to work a linked half double crochet, so still per usual pretty much, all the way up until we have 3 stitches left right before our stitch marker. Then right here, we're going to work a linked half double decrease 3 right over the last 3 stitches right before our stitch marker. So into that horizontal bar, just like usual, pull through for 2 loops on our hook. Next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all 5. This is going to pull the neckline inwards and start forming that clean v-neck. Then we're going to chain 2, flip our work, then we're going to work another linked decrease 3 over the first 3 stitches here. So since this is the first one, into that second chain from our hook, pull through for 2 loops. Into that first stitch, pull through, second, pull through, third, pull through again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 5. Then to do our first linked half double right after this decrease, we're going to find that middle horizontal bar. So here's 1, 2, 3. That's what we're going to work in. 4, 5. Into that middle bar, pull through, then into that following stitch per usual. And that's it. Finish this row with 1 linked half double all the way to the end. Now we're going to repeat this exact decrease rhythm. We're doing that until our neckline reaches over to our chest. Make sure you end right after an odd number row so the shaping lines up perfectly for the second side. Now for each of these decrease rows, we should have 2 less stitches per row. So as you go, just write down the amount of rows and how many stitches you have for everything to be nice and symmetrical. Now once we've decreased all the way down to the center of our chest and finished that odd number row, which I have a total of 23 rows by the way, we're going to work 1 straight middle row right before the other side. So that's pretty simple. We're going to chain 2, flip our work, and just work a regular linked half double crochet row all the way down. No increases, no decreases, absolutely no shaping, just a clean, simple row to bridge the 2 sides. This row gives us that smooth transition and keeps the neckline perfectly balanced. And at the end of this row, we're ready to shape the second half of the V-neck. And this side is basically the same dance as before, just in reverse. So instead of decreases, we're going to increase our way back up to the shoulder. We're working a linked half double crochet increase into the top of the row. So into there with 1 linked half double. Second one is worked the exact same way, just insert into that same last stitch. And then a third one into there. Now each of these increase rows should have 2 more stitches than our last row. Then an increase 3 linked half double at the start of this row. And you're just going to keep repeating these 2 rows for the same number of rows that you worked on the decrease side. So you're basically rebuilding the slope of the B so both sides match perfectly. And once we reach that final row, the one that lines up with the last decrease row from the other side, we're going to go ahead and make a chain for the same number of stitches that you skipped when you started the neckline. Now for me, that's going to be 6 because I skipped a total of 6. Then once when our neckline is fully mirrored, we can now work the shoulder the same exact way you did the first one for the same number of rows. So everything lines up super clean and even. Now we've already done the hard part, now this is just matching what we've already made, so both shoulders sit perfectly on the body. After that last row, go ahead and cut, but just to make sure that we're on the right page, each of our shoulder rows, since we aren't increasing or decreasing, should have the same number of foundation chains that we made. Now, the total width of my front panel is just about 20 inches or 50 centimeters. Now we're going to shift over to the back panel. And the back panel is the easy part, a total palette cleanser after the neckline shaping. We're going to make a straight rectangle back here. Same starting chain, same length, same width. Everything is going to match the front panel, just without the neckline shaping, so no increases, no decreases. Just linked half double crochet rows from start to finish for the same number of rows as the entire front panel. This keeps your sweater perfectly balanced and makes seaming a breeze later. So if you're craving some mindless cozy stitching, this is your moment. So throw on a show, sip something warm, and let the rows fly. And if you are watching some shows, let me know what you're watching. And hey, if you're loving this tutorial and want even more behind the scenes goodies, sneak peeks, and exclusive discounts, consider joining our channel membership. It's a fun little upgrade with a lot of perks. But if not, totally fine as well. The tutorials and patterns still get the same amount of love. And now that the back panel's done, time to bring the whole sweater together. We're starting with the shoulder seam so that we can do our sides afterwards, getting the perfect fit that we want for our sleeve. We're going to place our back panel down, then our front panel on top of our back. We're all going to do a single crochet seam across the top of both panels. With our hook into the top corner stitches of both panels, we're going to pull through, chain 1, and just do a single crochet seam. So finding this first side row, find that top loop, insert into the front panel, same top loop into the back panel, insert, and single crochet until we reach our neckline. So no skipping, no guessing, we're just going to follow the straight rows all the way across. Now this seam is super forgiving, so don't overthink it. As long as you're matching row to row, it'll fit beautifully. Now for the side seams. We're placing a stitch marker into any stitch that is in multiples of 3 to mark where the armhole is going to open. For a comfy sleeve, so not too tight, not too baggy, I'm placing my stitch marker about 2 inches beneath my underarm. That's into my 21st stitch from the top. That's just about 17 inches or 18 centimeters, but feel free to adjust depending on how relaxed or fitted you want your sleeve to be. Now for the side seam, we're still working with a single crochet seam, but a little bit easier because we have actual stitches to work into, not side rows. So starting from the hem up to our stitch marker, we're going to place our hook into that first stitch into the front panel, first stitch into the back, and single crochet everything together. And now both panels are connected. We're going to work our way up until our stitch marker, then we're going to hop over to the other side and repeat the exact same seam. Now this part works up super fast. It's super satisfying because our sweater finally starts to look like a sweater. I guess a sweater vest, but a sweater because we are going to add sleeves in about 3 seconds. Alright, now it's time for the sleeves. These are so satisfying because we're building them right off the body, so no separate pieces, no guessing, no extra seaming. Everything stays clean and on the outside. We're getting straight to the point by making sure our work is flipped right side out so all of our seams are along the inside. Now placing our hook into the stitch that's nearest to the side seam within the armhole, we're going to chain the full length of the sleeve. So I'm going for a classic wrist length. That's just about 15 inches or 38 centimeters for me, so a chain 50. Once we've got our chain, we're going to work our linked half double all the way back down towards the body. So this part is per usual. Now we are going to connect this into the base. How we're going to do that is by counting up the next 2 available stitches. There's 1, there's 2. Into that second stitch, just slip stitch into there. Now our row 1 is connected. Now we do need to work our way up to the following row, so how we're going to do that is slip stitch up that next stitch into the base. Then we're going to flip our work to work on our row 2. Now for the linked half doubles, we are going to need to link it into something. So this first link is going to be linked into that second slip stitch from our hook. So this is the first, this is the second. Just into the top of that whole stitch, we're going to insert, pull through, then everything is per usual into that first stitch, pull through 3, then linked half double per usual. Then at the end of the row, which just double check, we should have same number of stitches as our chains made, we're going to chain 2, flip our work, and linked half double all the way back down, and we're going to repeat that all the way around the armhole. We're basically building the sleeves in a vertical strip that joins as you go. That gives us the dense rib texture that matches the body perfectly. But it's basically the exact same thing as the body, but with a little connection at the base, until we work into every stitch. Then once we have, it's actually time to seam it up, and this seam is actually the same seam as the side seam, so single crochet seam. We just want to make sure that all of our seams are along the outside when we do this because we want it to match, and just seam all the way up. And now we're in the home stretch, so we're going to give it a little polish with our cuff. So for the cuff, our work is going to be flipped right side out now. We're going to reattach your yarn into the edge of the sleeve, pull through, chain 1 just to secure, and we're going to start with a single crochet row, just 1 into every side row. So pretty much the same way that we did the shoulder seams. So we will end up with the same number of stitches as rows that we made for the sleeve. To close off this round, we're going to connect the end of the row to the beginning. Once when it's connected, we're going to work on our stretchy cuff. So keep your tension loose here, and we're going to do slip stitches right after the chain. This chain is going to be the length of our cuff. Mine's going to be roughly 2.5 inches or 6 centimeters, so my chain is 12. The turning chain for this is just 1. Into that second chain from our hook, we're going to work into that back bump with a slip stitch. So turn your chain over, find that singular back bump, insert your hook, yarn over, gently pull through 2. And keep working our back bump slip stitches until we reach the base. Now we are working back bump slip stitches so that when we seam it, we have 2 top loops to work into to make the seam easier and to make it look like another back loop slip stitch row, because remember, we always want our work to look as clean and as polished as possible. Now working into the base is kind of similar how we connected the sleeve, but since our slip stitches are a shorter stitch, we're just going to find that next stitch to connect the odd number row. That's connected. Then we do need to work our way up to the next row as well, so slip stitch up that next stitch. None of those slip stitches count as a stitch. Flip our work and work 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch. Now working into the back loops is going to give us that stretch and cinch that we want for the cuff. And that's going to be the row repeat until we complete the cuff. This cuff is going to be snug but not too squeezy. Once we're worked into every single stitch, we're now ready to seam it. Now the seam is going to start with our work still flipped right side out. Place our hook into both corner stitches, then an outside loop slip stitch seam. So finding this first stitch into the front panel, we're going to insert only in through the front loop. Then first stitch into the back, insert only in through that back. So we're only working into the outside loops. When you have these 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. And if we keep working the stitch all the way down, we're going to end up with a seam that looks like another slip stitch row. Then when you have one sleeve and cuff completed, we're going to make a matching second one. Now the bottom band is worked roughly the same way as the cuff. For the single crochet base row though, we're going to alternate between 1 to 2 single crochets in through every side row just to make sure that it's comfy, but it doesn't cinch up too much on us. So our work is going to start flipped right side out, right side up. We're going to place our hook into any of the side rows along the bottom of our piece, then our single crochet row. So just to find that first side row together, this is mine right here. Find that top loop and insert with 1. Next top loop and place 2 single crochets in through there. Now the single crochet row is going to be worked all the way around. Then the same slip stitch rows are going to be worked as the cuff. I'd like for my bottom band to be just a smidge longer, so just about 5 inches or 13 centimeters, so I'm going to work a chain 20. Then our slip stitch rows worked into every stitch all the way around. Then seamed with the same seam as the cuff. And we're going to end with a bottom band that hugs our hips. Bottom band is done. Now we're just going to complete everything and clean it up with a single crochet row along the neckline. So start with our work flipped right side out. Then we're going to single crochet in through every stitch, also single crochet in through every side row. In through the front panel, we're going to be working 2 single crochets in through every side row just to make sure we maintain that length that we have. But along the top of the back panel, alternate between 1 to 2 single crochets in through each of those side rows, just like how we did the single crochet row for the bottom band. Then the next row, a simple back loop single crochet row just to clean it up and get just a hair more texture. Then our collar is looking nice and crispy. Now the last thing you have to do is simply weave in all of our ends. And that's it. You have your classic cozy V-neck sweater and it is officially done. I'm so proud of you for sticking with it and I can't wait to see your versions. If you make one, post it in our community tab so we can all see. Now I would love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this texture? I'm actually loving it, but go ahead and let me know how you like it or dislike it in the comments down below. Enter this week's pattern giveaway for our high-low batwing sweater and our almond stitch headband by telling us if you'd rather have a reptile or a fish as a pet. Now I could actually sit and watch fish swim all day, so fish for me. And if you enjoy this tutorial, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a new pattern. We drop fresh, wearable crochet content every Sunday and Wednesday. And if you want even more behind the scenes sneak peeks, early pattern previews, and exclusive discounts, join our channel members. It's just a fun little upgrade with perks like BTS access and special pattern savings. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. We so appreciate it. Happy hooking, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!